with you today from CCM Recruitment to talk about all the current opportunities we have in London for nurses. Both Raquel and I have worked in London as nurses, and we really recommend it as an experience for everybody. So to go over some of the exciting opportunities we have for you in tonight's short webinar, we'll be discussing current opportunities with a private healthcare network called HCA. They're actually visiting Australia and New Zealand next month, so in April. They'll be attending Australia and New Zealand, holding information days or presentations and having interview opportunities for nurses that are shortlisted. CCM Recruitment can help you along the way. So even from tonight's webinar, we hope that you'll learn some more. Then we can help you through the process of applying for the jobs, including your CV and interview preparation. And then we help you along with the hospital with your nursing registration in the UK, travel arrangements, flight details, work permits, even up to your accommodation when you first get to the UK. So let's kick off tonight and see how we go. So social life in the UK, everyone knows how exciting London can be. There's so many Australians and Kiwis already living in London. In fact, thousands migrate every year. So it's probably not a destination that you haven't already thought about, and it's definitely a destination you could take your nursing career to. We highly recommend you going as a nurse rather than taking a non-nursing position, because then of course it continues on your career. You don't have that gap on your CV, and you're going to be earning a nurse's wage, allowing you to really make the most of that lifestyle available to you. There's so many things to do. There's markets, pubs, bars, shopping, galleries, exhibitions, all the festivals, traveling around Europe. You have everything on your doorstep from London, so close and so accessible. So it's definitely a great way to get involved. And you won't be alone with so many Aussie and Kiwi communities already in London, some that we can recommend and get you to join as well, that are all part of our Facebook. And of course, going through the hospital, you'll be set up with other nurses in the nursing accommodation and within your orientation group. So you're never going to be alone.
That's right. And look, the travel opportunities from London are just terrific. You know, you've got Europe on your doorstep. So we know that most nurses, when they're going over to London, they really want to make the most of those travel opportunities and get around Europe and even go further afield, and you can definitely do that. So as Sarah was saying, we definitely recommend that you get yourself a nursing job before you go to London, because that'll give you a nursing wage and give you a lot more spending money to do those trips that you really want to do. And it also looks really good on your CV to have that you've been working in London in a private hospital, you know, for 1 or 2 years. You know, you haven't lost your skills, you're maintaining that while you're overseas, and that's just as important, because obviously once you leave London you want to move on and get another job after that and still have really good nursing skills to take away with you. The HCA hospital network, they have quite flexible contract options, so you can work with the HCA Bureau, and what that means is that you can work across all of their 6 hospitals. So you do need to be willing to sort of jump around and work at a couple of different hospitals if you choose to work on the Bureau. The advantage of it means that you can you give them your availability of what days you want to work, week by week, month by month. You do have to work full time, but it gives you that little bit more control of how you have your days off. So if you're the type of nurse that would like to have, say, 5 days off to go over to France or Greece or something like that on your days off, you can manage that with your rostering if you're working on the Bureau. You still accrue annual leave on the Bureau contracts as well, so you'll still be getting paid holidays in addition to, you know, wrangling a bit of travel on your days off. The other, if you're the type of nurse that prefers, you know, some more stability, and you prefer just to work in one hospital and one unit, HCA do offer those contracts as well, and they would just employ you to work in the one hospital at the one unit or department. So there's the 2 options, and again, with both of them, you do accrue annual leave and get your paid holidays as well. The HCA, they also provide visas for nurses that need a work visa to go to the UK. If you're not sure whether you need a work visa or not, you can just contact us and we'll be able to advise you on that. And they also pay for your flight to go over to London, and that's a big expense off your shoulders before you even start and before you even head over. So you get your flight paid for with HCA. The other gift that they give nurses as well when you head over is they give you a little travel card for the public transport in London. So that's a really good starting point. It's called an Oyster card, which is very similar to the ATHOP and Opal cards that we use in Auckland and New Zealand. Zealand. So they give you a little bit of credit on that. You just top up that card and you can use that to use the London Underground or the tube, the trains, the ferries and the buses. And look, it's really easy to get around in London. All the HCA hospitals are on the tube line as well. They have night buses that run in the evenings if you're doing like a late shift and you're coming home on a night bus. I mean, they also have taxis, of course, as well, and they use Uber, which you're all familiar with.
Yeah, it's definitely an easy location to be able to get around, both for work and for social life. Like Raquel mentioned, there's 24-hour services on a lot of the London transport, and before you know it, you'll know the map behind like the back of your hand and be travelling around just like that. So it's definitely a great incentive to get involved in. The HCA hospitals will even provide a bit of a London tour and orientation pack when you first arrive. So if you are a little bit nervous about using your Oyster card or getting on the tube, those sorts of things will be addressed. And you'll also be with other nurses, so you're not doing it all on your own, which is a great way to go about it. Getting started with the hospital as well is a great way to, like Raquel was saying, some of those costs are already being cut down with your flights, your work permits. You've got to start an Oyster card to get you going. They'll provide the accommodation for nurses that join with them. There's housing for nurses, international nurses at different venues across London, all within easy reach and transport to their hospitals. They provide this free of charge for the first 3 months. So when you first arrive in London, you get picked up at the airport and they take you off to your accommodation, you get yourself settled. You've got 3 months in that free accommodation to sort out what you'd like to do from there. Hopefully you've made some friends, learned some areas that you like around London, and you can find your own share apartment. Or perhaps you'd really like to stay on in the nursing accommodation for a further 3 months at subsidised rent. So that makes a huge difference in London. When people talk to us about their concerns, often the expense of London comes up, but realistically rent is the most expensive aspect, and it's comparable to here in Sydney or in Auckland. So if you take rent out of the equation for 3 months, you've got a nice little starter to get you going on, enjoy all the nightlife and exciting things that London can offer to you. That would pretty much leave your phone bills and like data, internet kind of phone bills and your groceries, which I found so much cheaper in London than here in Sydney. You can get a good phone deal for about $50 a month, which includes unlimited data, unlimited text and calling. It's really good service. Not to mention the internet's super, super fast. So you can do lots of Skyping and still talking back to home, and you're not going to be left out from everything that's happening back here. And then groceries are much, much cheaper. The everyday cost of like bread and milk and things are about £1 for something. I refuse to buy halloumi here because it's too expensive compared to £1 back in England. So things like that, you get your head around quite quickly, and you can see where there's savings there, and that lifestyle makes it easier to enjoy your time off and save up for other things you'd enjoy.
And certainly, you know, if travel's on your list of things to do when you go to London, you can get cheap flights, can't you, Sarah? Yeah. They have budget airlines like we do here. You know, they've got EasyJet, Ryanair, and flights can start from as cheap as, you know, 30 to 50 Australian, New Zealand dollars, you know, from the get-go. So, you know, you can do it. You can do all the things that you want to do without spending a fortune, and you're going to have a nursing job, so you'll be earning a good wage while you're there as well. With great clinical exposure. These hospitals are renowned. They've got amazing technology, the latest diagnostic tools and treatments that people even come from outside of England to receive. So you're definitely not going to be missing out on your clinical skills either. Now, to work in the UK, you do need to be registered with the UK Registration Board. That's called the Nursing Midwifery Council, or the NMC. And we do know that nurses find this part of the process a little bit daunting. Yeah. Sarah and I know that because we've got our UK registration, so we know the frustrations with the process. But we're going to help you with that process, so we guide you through it. And look, there's absolutely no reason why you can't achieve getting your nursing registration within around 6 months. For some people, it will take a little bit longer. But as I say, with us helping you and guiding you through the process, we'll be prompting you and reminding you what the next step is along the way. The other thing is too, HCA are going to support you as well with the registration process. They actually provide a bit of training as well for the last part of the application process, which is the clinical exam that you have to do in the UK, and they provide training, don't they, and support for you guys when you get there. They also reimburse quite a large amount of the registration costs. You know, there are costs involved, and the HCA will reimburse you. So you do get that support. And we also have on our Facebook page and CCM website, we've got a little little UK tutorial. It's a short video that goes for around 10 minutes or so, and it just gives you an overview of what's required for the registration. So we just recommend that people jump on that and have a look at it. Then you can contact us and then we'll get you started on everything. And you'll be allocated a recruiter when you contact us, and they'll work with you from the beginning all the way through the registration process to the point of you getting on the plane to travel over. So you'll either be working with Sarah or myself or our colleague Dawn, and we'll help you through that. You know, it's not something that you need to sort of get too worked up about. You just need to get stuck in, get your registration done. All going well, it'll be done in around 6 months, if not a little bit longer. And then HCA will be waiting for you when you get there to get you started.
And that makes a big difference, having that motivation. You've already secured a job and it's waiting for you. It's a bit of the kick you need to keep going and make sure it's all worthwhile.
Absolutely.
So in terms of what the opportunities are at the moment, HCA are visiting Australia and New Zealand in April. For those that are interested, we definitely recommend you check out our UK nursing registration tutorial and then contact us if you're keen to apply. Realistically, there's vacancies available for all sorts of nurses, specialties focusing on neurology, oncology, theatre, like scrub scout, recovery, peri-op, those sorts of theatre jobs, and ICU nurses. We, of course, are not forgetting the med-surg nurses as well that might want to travel to London, and we definitely recommend you get in contact with us because we've got great options for you guys too. The hospital will be in Auckland on the 21st of April, in Melbourne on the 24th of April, and Sydney on the 26th of April. So you still have time to get organised and started on the process. We can help you with your CV all the way to interview prep to get you all prepared. We'll be with the hospital representatives as they're travelling around to meet with you, and it'd be great to see you all then.
Absolutely. And look, if you're a nurse that's already maybe on your way to London, you already booked your ticket, maybe you don't have your registration yet, it's not too late. You can still contact us and we can still help you start that process. So, you know, wherever you are in the process, we often get nurses calling us, and they're sometimes actually already in the UK or close to going over, don't we, Sarah? So we can help you at any stage to get you going.
Definitely.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll meet some of you in April next month.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching tonight. We hope this information was short and sweet and gives you a bit of a taster of what's available, and hope to hear from you soon and get you started on your UK registration and application. Thanks.
Thanks.